Welcome to Discipleship Hoops Podcast, where basketball meets purpose. This isn't just about mastering skills on the court, it's about developing the complete athlete. We're here to help young players grow stronger, smarter, and more skilled while deepening their character and strengthening their faith. At Discipleship Hoops, we believe basketball is more than a game. It's a platform for transformation, teaching discipline, teamwork, and resilience. Together, let's empower the next generation of leaders to excel both on and off the court. This is Discipleship Hoops through basketball.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to the latest edition of the Discipleship Hoops Podcast. I'm your host, Jimmy. Joining me today is another very special guest. I'm a little biased when it comes to this guest here. We've never met in person, but just the sheer fact that he's at my home coaching basketball in my home city of Terry, Mississippi, it makes it a special day for me. Coach Parker, welcome. Thank you for your time and joining the Discipleship Hoop Podcast. For those that don't know you, that may have not heard of you before, tell everyone, who is Coach Chris Parker, where are you from, and how has your journey to coaching began?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me and inviting me on. It's a pleasure to be here on your platform to talk about Terry High basketball. I'm just a kid. I grew up in right on between Raymond and Terry off of Midway Road. I started my journey, my basketball journey, in the third grade. A guy by the name of Gil Thompson. He came to the school and started a team at the YMCA. Yep. And he taught us all the game of basketball. You had to learn, you had to be able to make a left-hand layup if you were right-handed. Right. If you were left-handed, you had to be able to make a right-hand layup, things of that nature. He taught us the game from the ground up. He taught us the game the right way, and that stuck with me all up through my time at Carver Middle School and my first year at Raymond High in the ninth grade. And then I came to Terry. And I had to sit out a year over here back then when you couldn't just jump schools. Whenever you transferred, you had to sit out an entire year. So I sat out the entire basketball season, and I was the manager. Okay. And all I did was practice every day. And I practiced against Harold Boston, Luther Jackson, guys like that, great players, great guys. And they made me better. Right. So by the time I played in the 11th grade, I was ready to step in and do my job and keep things going. 11th and 12th grade year, I had some success and was able to go on a scholarship to Hines Community College. Okay. And let me take you back. So I told you Coach Thompson, Gil Thompson, taught me the game at Carver Middle School. I was coached by Tim Shelton as a longtime referee, still doing it to this day. And ninth grade, Coach Gary Post at Raymond. And then I was blessed to come over here and be up under the tutelage of John Neal, who was a great coach, known across the country, especially here in the state of Mississippi. Right. And so when I went to Hines, I was coached by Ralph Moore, another great coach in the state of Mississippi. And I had a great 2 years there, junior college, MJCAA, all-star. Right. And I went on and got a scholarship to the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Harold Blevins recruited me. Then he stepped down. Van Holt was the coach. He was assisted by George Ivory, another legend in the state of Mississippi. So I was way in Arkansas, still with Mississippi ties, and played 1.5 years there, and came on back home, thought I was done with the game. So I ended up getting my alternate route teaching license, going down to the country, Gloucester, Mississippi, to teach my auntie, Catherine Murphy, Lord rest her soul. She was a principal down there at the elementary school. So I started teaching 5th grade. Had a classroom full of them, taught them all subjects. We just went outside for recess. Right. And I can see the athletes. I'm just looking, he gonna be good, she gonna be good. Right. And then one day, it just so happens my first year down there, the high school, Amite County High School, they had hired a coach, Tim McDaniel. He's going to be the basketball coach, boys basketball coach, and assistant principal, and some things happened. He had to step up to be the head principal.
Okay.
So you can't be the head principal and a basketball coach.
Right.
So now they're scrambling looking for a basketball coach.
Right.
I had no plans on being a basketball coach. So this is I don't think I'm here by accident.
Exactly.
You know, so they come down to my classroom and just knock on my door one day.
Yeah.
I really wasn't interested. I told them, you know what I'm saying, I don't think I want to do it. I think some kind of way they knew I played basketball and all that. And, you know, I said, well, you know, I'll help out. You know, I think my cousin really wants the job. They really wouldn't take no for an answer.
Okay,
So I was forced into it.
Right.
And then, you know how it is, once you get bit,
Yeah.
you know, it's contagious.
Yeah,
So
especially when it's already deep in you.
Right. So I was running from it, but it caught me.
Right.
And so I got into it. I coached there 5 years. You know, we got the program up and back going because it's some athletes down there, and they're part of the state.
Right.
And so I was blessed to coach some great kids, and they really made me the coach I am today.
Right.
You know, it was a lot of trial and error with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't always get the best of me.
Right.
But, you know, we worked together, and I came out a better coach and a better person from being down there at Amite County. And I wanted to get back closer to home, came up here, and I dropped down to middle school. I coached at Powell Middle School for 2 years.
Yeah.
Again, another great breeding ground.
Right,
you know what
right,
I'm saying? It taught me how to deal with a different type of kid. I was in the country, now I'm in the city.
Right.
You got to deal with these kids. They got different problems, different needs.
Exactly. Right.
You know?
Right.
And that worked out well to where Hazelhurst offered me a high school job. So I'm back there 6 years. We right there at the Coliseum. Couple bounces don't go our way, you know, but we were right there where we need to be.
Right.
And my alma mater calls. And they had an opening.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn it down.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Here I am.
Yeah. There's something to be said about humble beginnings. You know, like you mentioned, and you never know the path that God has laid for us. Right.
Right.
Like we come up with our own plans. We say, no, this is the direction my life is gonna go. Then all of a sudden, He send you somebody to make you an offer you can't refuse.
That's it. That's it.
No, so like we talked about earlier, Terry is my home. I wasn't fortunate enough to graduate from Terry High School. I was still at Byram then. But my sister and my brother was the first graduate class from Terry High School. Then my sister came after that. Then last year I had a nephew that graduated from here.
Yeah.
My mom stayed 5 miles from here, so this is my home.
You tied in.
Yeah. But what I want to talk about though is like your coaching journey, right, from Amite to Powell to Hazelhurst, now back home to Terry, and with a school that really at a point there was kind of like in a disarray, right? If I am remembering correctly, you're the third coach in 3 years when you started last year, or 2 years ago, in 22. All right, it was two coaches. It was one coach in 21, I think Melvin, and then they had another coach in 22, and then you came on board. And maybe they were assistant, coach and or head coach and assistant.
I think Coach Fletcher was here more than 1 year. And he had things trending in a good direction.
Right. And so, you came in on top of that and you continue to build, right? Like in 3 years, the way this program has elevated itself is a true testament to your humble beginnings, right? And who you became in those times. Like in 21, y'all were 19-8, and 22, 22-9, and then this past season, 25-8 record. Right, and so even your division ranks, you went from ranked 11th to ranked 8th to like this year you're ranked number 3 in the division. So it's just you continue the journey. So what has that been like? So now when you pull up to the to this beautiful new facility and you park, you come in, you put the keys in, you walk into this gym. In 2 years, like what culture can you say you're establishing, and what are you building moving forward?
The main thing is you want to pull up to this new facility just like you pulled up to the old one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to put the same work in that you put in over there,
Right.
over here.
Right.
Nothing changes. It's just a blessing.
Yep.
You know, and you got to handle your blessings accordingly. The culture we want to build is, man, we want the same thing is what all winning cultures have. It's brotherhood, it's togetherness. When you back down the wall in the locker room, it says play for each other, not with each other, not
Right.
just with each other. And that's what we want. We want guys who are truly committed to each other, connected, and that's how you win. You know what I'm saying? And that's also how you win in life.
Right.
Life is all about networking and connections.
Right.
The bonds you build with people. That's what takes you far in life. And so it's what takes you far out here on this court too.
Yeah, that's good. And so that, you know, in the building, the culture that you're building and the kids that you have come in, like, what do you credit their work ethic, their heart? Like, what do you credit all that to?
Mostly is them. It's their parents. It's what they want. When a kid comes to me and he says he wants to play college basketball, then I'm going to give you the work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you in pressure situations. I'm gonna make it uncomfortable for you now,
Right.
to see if this is really what you want.
Right.
You know, and what I want is eventually for guys, when they leave here, I want them to see something at their next stop that just reminds them of me, and maybe they say, you know what, Coach Parker told me this, you know what I'm saying? He said this, or
Right.
if it's not basketball, it's in their life, everyday life. It's something that we preach to them here that they see, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
They can
right.
see it later on, and I want guys to always feel like they can come back.
Right.
You know, even from anywhere I've been, I still talk to some kids from Amite County. I still talk to kids from Hazelhurst. I still talk to some kids from Powell Middle School that I coach, and I always, no matter where I'm at, they're welcome to come.
Right.
You know, and it's just an open door policy.
Yep, that's good. And so, you know, you mentioned about development and not just like, you know, through the legs, behind the back, slam dunk, three, you know, not just developing on the court, but what has been your philosophy? Because we know that playing, you know, at different levels, that it's mental, right? The game of basketball is mental, right? You have to see what's in front of you, and you have about 3 seconds to react, right? To read and react what's going on in front of you and process that. And it sometimes it can go bad, and sometimes it can go good, right? The game of basketball, like we say, it's a game of runs.
Right.
And how do you sustain during those runs? So when you're coaching kids off the court, like how are you developing them? What's your philosophy in the mental side of developing them?
It's just, you gotta make them uncomfortable. It can't be smooth sailing all the time. You have to know how they're gonna react before they get out here in front of all these people.
Right.
So, and the only way to do that is to make them uncomfortable. We want to make everything hard. When I first got here, we did some things, and the guys were like, "Why are we doing this? This ain't football, you know." This, then, but it was to build your toughness. You want to make these guys tough. You do things for them that they don't even know they need.
Right.
And so we talk to them all the time. We talk to them about things other than basketball. I meet with the guys. I just sit in a circle of them and we'll just talk. You know, you just see where their mind is, what's going on with them, how they think. You know,
Right.
we help guys with girl problems and everything. You know, so we're more than basketball coaches. We're counselors, you know, therapists.
Yep.
So it's a full-time job. It's more than just getting out here, running plays and playing defense.
Right.
It's a whole lot that goes into this. It's a lot to get them to the court on Tuesday and Friday night.
Yeah. It is, especially, you know, like for us, it was, you know, school, you know, may have to go cut the grass. Then we was at the park hooping.
Yeah.
Or at somebody dirt court.
Right.
You know, we were just hooping all the time.
I'm gonna tell you, that's kind of what the game is missing too.
Right.
These kids have a lot of skill, but they don't have a lot of feel.
Right.
And, you know, the feel comes from going out there playing against older guys at the park, pushing you around. You got to learn how to get your shot off.
Yep.
You got to learn, you know, different tricks.
Right.
Because you're not the best out there. If you are the best, you're not the strongest. You're not the toughest.
Yep.
And so a little bit of that is missing.
Yeah. Cause I remember right over here at Terry Park, chain nets and 11 feet goals.
Right, right.
And you couldn't.
And the wind blowing.
Yeah. And if you want to stay out there, get foul or not, you better get up and get back down the court and keep playing.
Right.
They won't go ask you to come back out there, the old heads. So in your time here, what has been some of your biggest challenges? Whether that's from admin, whether that's from community, from players, parents, expectations. What have been some of your biggest challenges?
The only challenge I face as a coach, one is cutting the kid. You have to do it, but it's tough for me, because these kids have dreams, and the only thing that gets me through it is knowing that I'm truly just evaluating what I see.
Right.
There's no bias involved. I'm not, I never hold a grudge against kids. So I come to it from a genuine place, and so that gives me some solace.
Yeah.
But it's still tough
because
I'm gonna tell you the truth. These kids are not like we were.
Right.
We were a lot more realistic.
Right.
in where we were
Yeah.
and our situation. These kids are pretty jaded, I'll say, to put it nicely.
Yep.
Due to, I don't know what it is, but every kid thinks they're a superstar.
Right.
Every kid, no matter if they shoot basketball once a week or every day, they think they really can play,
Right.
even if they can't even dribble with both hands.
Right.
And so it's tough to tell them, and even their parents too, but it's got to be done. And the toughest thing in coaching, period, is outliving one of the players that you coach.
Yeah.
So dealing with things like that is very tough in this profession. When you have players that pass away, you always want the players to at some point bury you and celebrate you. You never want to have to hear about a player passing away for whatever reason.
Yeah, it is tough when things like that happen. You spoke about just players' expectations of themselves, and like my son, when he was a sophomore, he plays down at Southwest now, and I used to have to tell him, like, Steph Curry didn't start shooting threes when he was like 23 and woke up and was like, I'm gonna be the best three-point shooter of all time. Right? That started at 5, right? When he was in the gym shooting, right? And he would shoot and shoot and shoot. And now kids think like I go to AAU games and even like high school basketball games. They do 2 things.
Are you ready to take your child's game to the next level? You gotta check in with Discipleship Hoops. We offer individualized basketball training designed to help your young athletes not only master their craft on the court, but also to build discipline, confidence, and faith. Whether they need work improving their shot, sharpening their ball handling skills, or elevating their basketball IQ, we do it all in our tailored sessions that are designed to help your player grow not only as a player, but as a leader. Don't wait. Don't delay. Start your journey today. Visit j5solutions.com/discipleship hoops. That's j5solutions.com/discipleship hoops. Let's build their game and their future one step at a time. That's j5solutions.com/discipleship hoops. That's j5solutions.com/discipleship hoops. We can't wait to get you on the court.
They come on the court, they start shooting threes, right? Or they trying to dunk. That's their warm up. It's no more work.
Nobody goes down there and under the goal and build from the inside out.
Right. So you're right, man. Just managing those expectations. But speaking of which, now that you're on a hot streak, right? You're each year your team has improved, and regardless of losing players or getting new players in, having to start, sophomores over seniors, all those type of things that come with that. But you have begun to build a winning culture. So in that winning, like, what's the development as far as character, right, and as far as like leadership skills in your players?
Tell you can't win. You can't show me a winning team that doesn't have leadership
Right.
or doesn't have character, you're not going to win if you don't have those things.
Exactly right.
The two are synonymous.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you're going to win, you got to have some leadership. You got to have some character. You got to be able to go through some things. Same thing we were talking about earlier. You're going to have to dig in. You got to pull some games out.
Right.
It's going to be teams that you're supposed to beat that are going to come in and give you the fight of your life. And how do you handle it? How do you handle when a team is not supposed to be that good, but they're playing you with everything they got and embarrassing you in front of all these people? How are you going to respond?
Right.
And so it takes character. It takes somebody on the sideline or somebody in the game to say, hey, man, come on now. This is what we got to do.
Right.
He killing us right here. Let's lock in. Let's come together. It takes that. It takes more than me over there preaching and doing what I do, because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
When it comes from within, from a peer, somebody your age, when you get leadership at that level, that's when you really start to see bigger results. And so we really plan on taking another step this season. We're very excited about what we got coming this season and even after that. We have some great talent in this area, and we try to get it in and cultivate it. We try to keep it here. That's the main thing. A lot of times what's been happening is the talent is here, goes other places. So what we want to do is just try to keep as much of it as we can. We know we can't keep all of it because there's only so many. It's one basketball.
Right, exactly.
So the good players are going to want to go and expand their game, and everybody don't want to fit into a system or feel like they boxed in. But the way we play, all 5 guys have equal opportunity.
Yeah, that's true. And so speaking of what you just talked about, what do you see, like the state of Mississippi basketball? Where is it at, and where do you see it going?
Where it's at, I'll say this: I think Mississippi basketball has always been good. I think the perception of Mississippi basketball took a hit at some point. I don't quite know when that happened, but I think we're getting it back. I love what I'm seeing out here. I'm loving this Puma team. I'm loving what I'm seeing there. Also, I think NBA Hoop, they do a great job. Even the local guys, MCE, they do a good job. The Bulldogs, TG Pro, all you guys. I hate I started naming names. Now you can't leave anybody out. But everybody, like I love to see the way they're actually teaching the game. I like to hear my guys, you playing on the team, we got practice. We're not just showing up playing. We practicing, we working. That's all part of building Mississippi basketball. It takes a collective. It don't take one person. And I think that's kind of what we may be getting back to, and that's why the game in the state is taking that step, is because we are starting to work together. I hear that there's about to be a live period event that's happening. I think Coach Brent kind of got the ball rolling on that, but it's going to take all of us helping out, pitching in, doing what we got to do. Even if you don't get a recognition for it, it's got to be done for the kids, for the state, for the game.
Exactly.
And so, people got to be willing to get their hands dirty.
Yeah, it's true. And, you talked about coming together as a community. Here is community, is just rich in culture, right? Rich in a lot of things. And how has the community of Terry, how have their influence helped you along, pushing you forward?
First year, the crowd, I'm not gonna be honest with you, the crowd won a lot of games for us. I think our first game, I think we were playing Brandon. I mean, it came down to the wire, but it was so electric in there. You got coaches that come in, coach, they just talk about how loud but that was their old building, man. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if this one is gonna have it like that, but I hope they come in and try. They got these pads up. I don't think the sound gonna bounce off like it did, but it was a very intimidating atmosphere, and the fans they enjoyed coming out. They know the game of basketball. They're very knowledgeable, and they're very loud. They're very vocal, and so that's a plus, man. We love their support. They support us They support us with cheering as well as financially. We have no problems. It's not a lot that if we say we need something, it's not hard to go out there and get it.
Right, yeah.
And so that's a big thing when you're trying to build a sports program.
Yep, definitely. So, Coach, when it's all said and done, and you know, 20 years from now, you decide, 25 years from now, however long it take, what legacy do you want to leave here at Terry High and just in the lives of your players?
I kind of already touched on. I really just want my players to think about me at some point. You know what I'm saying? Something I told them, something I taught them. I want them to come back and see us. You know, that's a big testament to how they feel about you if they come back. The ones who don't come back, sometimes it's just, you know, life takes them other places, but, you know, usually they come back and see you. That means a lot.
Right.
And, you know, so I want to let everybody know, man, if you got a coach that meant anything to you, stop by sometime. You know, I don't know why people think we make so much money doing this, but we really do it because we love what we do. You know what I'm saying?
We love the kids.
And the appreciation is worth a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when guys come back, man, and just come back to talk sometime or come back and work out, it means a lot. And here at Terry, I'm relentlessly pursuing the first basketball state championship. And shout out to the track team, the boys track team. They won the state championship this past Saturday, and congratulations to them. We want to join them.
Yep, absolutely. What's some things you have coming up here? Any camps or clinics or anything?
Right now, we don't have any camps on the line. We got summer coming up, big summer plan, but next season, we will have the Bulldog Holiday Bash here. Everybody come out December 22nd and 23rd. We got Yazoo City, Lanier, Vicksburg, Clinton, us, of course, Brookhaven, as well as Ridgeland and Pascagoula. We're going to have that rematch for you guys. So everybody come on out. There's going to be some great basketball, and there's some more teams on the girls' side as well. We just want to put on a great event and showcase this beautiful facility we thank the Hines County School District for blessing us with, and the citizens.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they want to get more information about Terry High basketball, where can they go?
They can follow Terry High Hoops,
Terry High Hoops.
On Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
As well as Facebook.
Well, Coach, I truly appreciate it. I always got to end with one question. All right, I got one question, which it only requires one answer. Walking around here, and I kind of know the answer to this, but Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan or LeBron?
Yeah.
Jordan.
There it is. Another vote for Jordan.
Yeah, man.
Coach, I appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Anytime.
All right.